Hey, so what are you talking about, Anthony, and text messaging me?
After the 9/11 thing, I started getting all type of warrior emails to say, go fuck yourself. They start sending me email, what do they call it, links to all type, and they were going, Patrice, fucking fight hard, buddy. They was sending like this big dumb nigga. Oh my God. Fucking info and shit.
All right, I did get those text messages on the way to Boston.
I mean, like, there's one guy, scientific, like they were scholars for 911, like not kooks, like this one guy, scientific fact. Talking about the way, just one thing, talking about the way things come down like dropping an egg. He said dropping an egg from the top of the World Trade Center would take 8 seconds for the egg to hit the ground. That's how long it took for the buildings to fall. Ready? He said even, let's say if you go, the fact that it falls and it has to hit each floor and the pressure from each floor falling to the pressure of the next floor giving way. Let's say it was 110 stories, how you figured it out. Let's say, or it fell from the 96th floor. So if you gave it a half a second to fall, and then the pressure of the other floor to hold itself and then fall. A half a second, it would have took 46 seconds for the fucking buildings to fall. That's science, nigga.
No, it's not.
Science. It wouldn't have taken 8 seconds for the fucking building to fall.
Why would each one get a half second if the additional weight falling on each one is additional?
Yes.
Why a half second? Why wouldn't it go faster?
Because they wasn't even giving it a second. A second was good.
Not only that,
a second isn't good in that case.
That is implying that it fell one floor at a time. When it started coming down, there were multiple floors smashing at the same time.
Multiple floors coming down, giving resistance. He said if you drop an egg off the top of the fucking building without resistance, it would take 8 seconds. A fucking building that was made out of steel and that it fell in what he said, its own footprint, which means it fell straight fucking down as opposed to it falling down.
Funny little thing called gravity, and it pulls straight down. But you're talking like as if one floor hit the next floor, and then now it's 2 floors, and then it's 3 floors. When it fell, 10 floors at a clip were just smashing.
But it's still the resistance from the other floors. The resistance. If it was a half of a second, it would still be 20 seconds.
Okay.
It fell in 8 seconds.
Then did he explain how it was propelled downward faster than gravity? Because even
there's no such thing as faster than gravity.
So how is it then?
So what does this prove?
What does it prove? That there were rocket engines there pushing it down?
It was demolished professionally.
Wouldn't it still have to fall the speed of gravity? I mean,
it would still because that's what it was pulverized. The cement that's in the middle of each floor with the steel was pulverized by explosives
that were planted.
That's how fast.
So now not only
a demolished building will fall.
So not only were the explosives put in the beams that support it, but we had to go around in cubicles and drill in the cement floors around where people were working and plant explosives.
Anthony,
this gets better and better.
Could you move your facts?
First of all, the buildings are not open. The buildings are not open 24 hours a day.
Let's just label it D5 instead of C4. That'll confuse the shit out of them.
The security guards said, listen, man, people were sending me all type of shit and I was watching it.
Shit is a good word for it, Patrice. I cannot.
This is scholars for not people. Accredited motherfuckers from MIT believe that these buildings was demolished.
And I got another email about the same type of thing, and they're just stealing JFK lingo. Now the one guy goes, NORAD was told to stand down.
Stand down.
Was it really Sutherland speech in JFK? Whoever sent me that email, shut your teenage face. Shut it.
Take us DEFCON 1.
Let's go to Tim on Long Island.
Tim, you sack-eyed piece of shit. All
right, let's go, Tim. Get in here.
Hey, just want to call about Patrice's theory here. There's a problem.
It's not mine, nigga. I'm just copying what I heard. This is a white man's theory.
Patrice is not a thinker. He's copy-paste.
Yeah, I'm just repeating what another motherfucker said.
Hold on, but pretty much all of America is copy-paste.
Sure, copy-paste guy.
By the way, let me say something
about... You go read a few of those political books, you feel like you're an expert.
Exactly. Even your disagreements are copy-paste, motherfucker, so don't forget that shit.
Hold on, sir. Let me say something about Patrice, because after 9/11, no one was fucking louder at the Comedy Cellar table with the chalk doing the fucking all the numbers add up to 11. You remember that?
That shit.
I know you believed it. I didn't say you lied.
Too.
I didn't say I didn't either.
You don't make me an asshole.
I believed it until September 13th. This fucking idiot until 05. It's like, 9 plus 2.
Yes.
Oh, good point.
You remember all those numbers?
What's 9 plus 2?
11.
All the numbers that added up with 9/11. It was like every number you did that the dates added up to 9/11. I forgot it was fucking 5 years ago, but
you do understand that the craziest people in the world have these number things that they do.
But there were also facts that were wrong in that equation. Like they listed the wrong number of passengers. Yeah. Like it was like, you know, when you look at 9/11, well, it's a 9 plus 2 ones, 9, 10, 11.
Flight 11, flight
11,
93, 92.
Yeah, which would be 12. No, flight 93, I think it is.
But that's 12.
You take off
something 93.
I don't know. The 3 93 to represent nothing.
Exactly.
And then the flight 11.
Oh, it's a 9, but when you turn the 3 this way, it looks like tits. And there's 2 tits, so that's 9
and
plus 2 is 11.
And the buildings were 11. It was a. But he believed that shit too, man. You believe.
Isn't it hard to build 2 buildings in the shape of an 18? It's very inconvenient for the fucking elevators.
I saw a 27 building in Chicago.
Listen,
science, man.
This is what.
Yes.
Go, Tim.
The problem with the collapse is you're talking like each floor is a structural entity unto itself. It's not. The floors are actually suspended from the outer skin of the building. Mm-hmm. So once that building starts collapsing, those floors have no strength at all. They're providing.
Yeah, they're not waiting like.
How fast did the building fall?
They're not waiting a half a second.
8 seconds or something.
Or 9
seconds.
Yeah.
They're not waiting.
That's how fast it fell.
They're not waiting at all, man.
Yeah,
that's just going right through.
How long it took.
I have a special which I saw. Not to interrupt you, Tim, but I have a special that I saw which I have on DVD somewhere of why the buildings fell the way they did.
I saw that same fucking.
It had something to do with the way that they were linked. They should have been. The floor should have been hung in a sturdier fashion.
Why didn't the upper part, when the building started collapsing, the upper part above where the plane hit, did not explode? There were no explosions. It didn't collapse until that thing came down and hit the ground.
So how do they know where to plant the explosives?
Who's to say that the explosives, they planted it all through the building, and who's to say that those explosives, they didn't know how to set off the explosions where they need to set them off?
Let me ask you a question. If they were going to go through
guy named Aaron.
If they were going to go through all this, if they were going to go through all that, wouldn't they have just, like, now they're saying that, like, the guys are alive, like the 9/11 guys are alive, wouldn't they have just picked guys who were dead?
Let me tell you how much you've infested his mind.
Yeah.
He believes it. But it's something. There's some little blockage of reasoning that makes him not completely believe it.
Not true.
He's being a devil's advocate. So
no, I don't buy it.
He believes it.
I don't buy it.
Norton believes it in his gut because being a comic, you have to have this kind of cynicism towards the government. He knows.
Yeah. Cynicism is one thing, right? But something that like if you said to me there was a rogue element in the government, like allegedly in World War II, and somebody knew that was going to happen and stood back and let it happen, maybe a couple of that's
what I believe.
You're talking about implosions and then bringing the buildings down.
Elaborate plans.
And Muhammad Atta, not being alive somewhere, and he's living in Ronkonkoma, but he's walking around going, I'm Muhammad Atta, and they're going, no, you're dead. Shh, hush, hush.
Okay.
He loves me, I'm a comic. Wow, he's from Jersey, he knows.
You fucking know.
I really don't. I actually looked. No. I asked for credible. I said, please, because me and Tim Young were talking. Tim's a comedian, and when Tim goes, well, WTC7. When he said WTC7,
you had to hit him in the face.
If he couldn't beat me to death, I would have hit him. But he could. Tim's a psycho, and he could really hurt me. So I just kind of nodded and went, that sounds good.
Let's go to Joe the trucker. Joe, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, let's go, Joe. You got to get right in today.
Okay, sorry about that. There was a little bit of difference between a concrete floor and an egg. The terminal velocity is totally different.
Yeah, so I said.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's go to
I don't think you got your comparison.
Well, let's go to Mark. Yeah. Astrophysics proves Patrice wrong.
Mark.
All right.
Guys, I don't know what kind of physics it is, but when each floor starts falling, it exponentially will fall with more and more pressure.
I said that.
Yes.
So there's no way that it would take you. It was milliseconds that
it wouldn't take
You started this argument by saying, a second per floor.
No, this is half a second. But
there's no way it's going to be a half a second.
This is incredible. Can I get a fucking... This is the problem with the show. Do any physicists listen to this motherfucker?
We have a lot of them.
Can a physicist call in?
I live in my building is one of the greatest fucking, honest to God, one of the greatest theoretical physicists in the world.
Did
lives
you
in my
ask him
building.
that question?
Why would I? Hi, you don't know me. Who do you think killed everyone in the World Trade Center? Maybe we can have a call in.
You can't ask a fucking physicist. You ask transvestites, strange transvestites.
No, I don't. I close my eyes and enjoy. No one knows nothing.
Wait,
I don't ask that to be a
Another
gay.
thing why my brain is like...
It's the theory of no one knows
while you're going.
Okay. Forensic study of the fucking...
Oh, my God.
Immediately. This is what I remember from just watching this new shit I'm watching. Immediately.
Hold on, let him talk, goddammit.
Immediately, they came in and took away the fucking evidence of the building's fall, the physical evidence of the building's fall Now,
they were looking for bodies.
Wait a minute.
Hold on, let him...
the TWA flight, right? They dug fucking plane debris out of the ocean to put that fucking plane back together to see what the fuck happened. They did not see what happened to the World Trade Center.
Everyone saw it.
Everybody saw it, but no, they did not do what made the materials. They did not study the material.
They took
the fucking buildings away.
Here's the problem with that. If you recall, there was a fucking frantic rescue
That's what he said.
On.
He said no.
People wanted to rescue.
They
actually,
people.
for a couple of days, if you remember, they thought they might actually dig some poor son of a bitch out of that mess. So they brought in cranes and just started pulling shit out of there. And where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put it? Broadway?
Well, you can't reconstruct it right
now. They
there.
had to fucking
put it out of there.
And another thing, when a plane blows up in the air and goes in the water,
right?
Believe it or not, it's a lot easier to pick the pieces up and put them together than it is when it hits something at 500 miles an hour and ends up little specks of pretty much nothing.
Did you see footage of that plane vaporizing when it hit the brick wall? They said, it never would have vaporized. And that's the question I asked. Why did it vaporize when it hit the Pentagon? And then someone sent me a link to a military test that had been done about nuclear reactors. They wanted to see if it could withstand a plane crash. So they show concrete being hit by a plane, and there's no resistance to the concrete. It was like the plane didn't exist.
Turned into dust.
It was a perfect hole in the side of the Pentagon. A perfect round.
They said the holes you're seeing pictures of inside were done during the rescue effort. That was not the hole.
They're saying the plane.
You are being misled, my brother.
You really are.
But by who?
By the Jews.
The one group I agree with.
Hey, here's a guy that worked in the World Trade Center. Let's see if there was any action going on while he was trying to do his job. Billy, what's up?
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Hey.
I was Patrice, man. I'm a cynic just as much as the next guy, and always into this government is doing this and that. But man, you're taking it a little bit too far.
I'm just repeating what fucking white people say. I'm repeating everything I heard from Billy talk
from white teenagers.
I'm up on the 65th floor of the Empire State Building, and during 9/11, we watched the whole thing. The first plane went by the building, went right down Fifth Avenue, shook shit off the shelves in my office.
Yeah, because it was doing about 500.
And it was a complete mess. And you know what? I guess, some people want to be able to point the finger. They want to have some concrete evidence that, it's this person's fault. And, There's
plenty of fingers to point.
Look, I'm not in disagreement. I was as salty as I'm still salty. But I'm not saying that it's a complete. I'm saying something. You can't say that it's just completely an accident.
You're getting
no, it wasn't
like the Poseidon adventure. Just
not an accident. It was Arabs that don't like us.
An accident, you know what I mean? An accident
killing us.
That the government would, that is starting to point towards more than just Arabs doing funny shit.
Who blew up the trains in Spain?
Arabs. I believe that.
Who
listen,
blows up the friggin' barracks? But they're able to do this. Who's hijacked planes over the years?
Listen, that's what I'm saying is I believe it because I just believe it. There's no other point for. I'm only watching these things that other people are doing work and raising questions. Everybody here is doing the same thing.
They're made with an agenda.
You're making a decision on what to believe. But
the things you're watching are created with this agenda. They twist things around and then present them to you in a twisted, inaccurate fashion.
They don't do that in
that little hole.
They don't do that in the other side, like your side of the thing.
No, because I'm not looking at some package that's presented as, look at the conspiracy. Here it is. I made it. View this. I'm looking at things like, here is file footage from different news agencies of photographs of the Pentagon. It's not one little hole in the Pentagon.
It's a perfect hole.
All right, listen.
I'll punch it up later after the show. I will show you the real pictures of the Pentagon.
All right.
And you will see wing marks, engine marks, everything.
This is what we should do. I was talking to Patrice about this. We should do a 9/11 show.
I don't know. On a Saturday.
I don't know if are you into this?
I'd be into it, absolutely.
All right, here's the deal. It's Anthony picks a team, Patrice picks a team.
I pick white people. I'm gonna find me some.
No, you need some backers.
Tim Young is a big conspiracy guy.
I'll get Tim Young.
Here's the deal. We'll give it a couple weeks to develop, but basically, it's Anthony obviously doesn't believe what you're saying, and let's do a couple hours and see what happens.
My blueprints and everything.
You get to study for a couple weeks. You
Charts
get to bring in other people.
I think you'd be a reasonable person.
Like Anthony, who would you bring in? Would you keep Jimmy?
Jimmy's half a traitor.
Yeah, Jimmy doesn't believe in it, really.
That's
Jimmy
not
could
true.
be turned.
Jimmy actually reads facts, and I raised questions. I said, well, there were certain things that were interesting points raised by conspiracy people.
Yeah.
I said that Pentagon, the questions they raised were interesting. When I was presented with the facts, and both sides, okay, now I understand why I believe a plane hit the Pentagon, but I wanted to have, there were certain questions that were raised that I didn't like. I don't like the fact that there's no photos of it happening and there's no video. I think it does exist. I think they're protecting us from it, but I don't think it's because it wasn't a plane.
I will bring in things. On that day.
Anthony, Dr. Kaku
documented evidence.
You better get your shit together for doing this.
I will bring in pictures,
this is the guy
charts,
that reads
graphs,
blueprints.
And actual
When was
witnesses.
the last time you read a blueprint, Patrice?
I read a blueprint of my sneaker collection.
Never read a blueprint.
A shelf I had built with my hat.
Had blue balls one day.
Here's a blueprint he would read. It's a girl lying on the bed looking for love, and the blueprint is his hand jerking off on her. And then there's a blueprint of the door, him opening it and closing it and leaving her.
When did this piece of shit motherfucker become like the reason?
Yeah. I happen to be.
This is what I'm saying. He's the dirtiest hunk of shit ever, and he will just sit there and explain me jerking off. But I told him that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But he'll repeat. He'll just repeat.
Well, at least I'm not saying it's science.
He'll repeat something I told him that could have been exaggerated. But I'm saying he's repeating. Just like you saw a blueprint. You're just saying, oh well, this blueprint is this, but you're discrediting other stuff that's just as credible. The hole in the side of the building. Why is your picture the picture? The picture I saw is some imaginary horse shit that they made up.
Because I will also use your picture as one of the pictures that show a bigger picture.
Yeah.
You're looking at one little narrow piece of information. You know? And if you zoomed in on that wall right there, you would see a wall full of naked women. Mm-hmm. And now if you presented that picture to somebody and said, what type of room was this taken in? There'd be speculation that it could be anything.
Theoretic.
It could be a Playboy shoot room. It could be a fucking porno guy's fucking thing. It could be his bedroom, a teenage boy's bedroom. You pull back here and take it. You know it's a radio studio. I'm saying you're looking at a narrow piece of information.
I'm looking at 4 different angles of the site. Mm-hmm. The angles that there was another fucking thing on that. The way the plane would have had to crash.
It did.
The plane would have to go like this. The way the plane crashed. It's like it was driven into the side. That's what I'm saying. It's Improbable. That's the word.
Improbable is probably a 1 in a million shot that guy hit the Pentagon.
Why crash a plane then, and why not just have a shoulder launcher? Why not fire a missile? Like, why, if you and I, if you're saying this, and I can hear you saying it, then why wouldn't people who are brilliant enough to plan this make such basic errors? Like, why would you put a missile hole and say it was a 767 instead of just saying...
They believe that we're dumb. They believe this country to be stupid.
Not the way information is passed. This is not JFK. Even JFK, the conspiracy became kind of like, geez, that doesn't look good. And that was in the 60s, and they had video cameras. There was 5 videotapes taken in 63. Everything's videotaped now. They're going to fire a missile at a building and say it was a plane and not think that anyone's going to... Not think that somebody might have a video camera.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you believe in wholeheartedly?
I believe JFK. I believe a lot of the conspiracy theorists are wrong, but I do think that there was definitely not just Oswald. Yes, that one I definitely
UFO conspiracies.
Yes,
but I mean not as far as they present.
I'll believe UFO conspiracies. Not that there are any or there are aliens, but I do believe that the government kept information from the people on things that they were working on.
like nuclear bombs and shit. I believe
and like weird powered devices that kind of looked like flying saucers in the desert. Right. When people would see that, and then the government would be like, "We had nothing flying in that area." It's like bullshit. That was one of yours.
That starts to talk because they don't want to admit that they got some stuff in the air.
Although pilot testimony convinces me though, when you have pilots saying, "Look, this thing," I've heard radar stuff saying. You have a craft going up. It's just going 400 miles an hour, and then it just goes up.
And it goes like 800 miles an hour straight up.
I've heard pilot transmissions and radar that type of stuff is convincing.
You believe in UFOs?
To a certain degree, yeah.
They were here.
UFO is nothing but an unidentified flying object.
But if you believe in
UFOs,
specific,
but that's different. UFO could be anything. If you're saying flying saucers,
aliens from outer space,
aliens are visiting.
I definitely believe in aliens.
Yeah.
You believe they were here, flying around, and we caught them, and they were Area 51.
I don't know if we caught them.
They probably crashed.
No one knows. What do you believe?
I don't think.
I can't imagine we're the only thing, out there.
I believe that we're not the only living organism out there, but I don't believe that there's aliens flying around this planet.
No. Carl Sagan didn't believe it either.
I don't think they've been here.
He said that the distances were too great, that they exist, of course, but it was just too far to come.
It could be some incomprehensible way that they can get here.
Wormholes.
Well,
but of course, the wormhole.
A psychopath said that a known crazy man said the most believable way that you could travel at this speed is if you learn how to manipulate magnetism and the magnetic poles between each planet. If you can learn how to manipulate that and be sucked in between the magnetism of each planet, that you could travel that fast.
That is kind of crazy.
There are theoretical physicists that say that there's a way to make something happen in 2 different places at once. Like, if you're traveling faster than the speed of light. Dr. Kaku and I discuss it sometimes in the elevator.
Oh, really?
like I'll walk in. One time I freaked because I'm a fan of his, because I used to hear him on Art Bell. He's a disgustingly brilliant genius, and I saw him and I was really starstruck. And he was at the desk, getting ready to walk towards the elevator. I go, "Hi, Dr. Kaku," and I started to walk, and he actually doubled back and almost went to the other elevator. I creeped him out in my own building.
No, what bothered me about the good doctor, because you pointed him out to me one day. Yeah. And I was walking home, and I actually saw him, and I started freaking out, and I was starstruck, because I'm like, that guy is smarter than pretty much anyone on this planet.
What is he known for?
He's a theoretical physicist. He's like, these guys are the ones that go beyond what physics do, and they theorize, like Stephen Hawking. He theorized about black holes before I had any proof of them.
He's got some shit. And there he is on the streets of Manhattan taking a little bike taxi.
He was being filmed for something, though. They were filming. That's why I didn't go over and then discuss them. Oh, by the way,
I didn't see the camera because I was just thinking that's a little strange. If I was that brilliant, I don't think I would be, taking bike taxi for enjoyment.
Why is no one that backs me on this calling?
I did ask, by the way, your gravity question. I confirmed with him that I was wrong.
Because we control the show.
Oh, really?
Yes. Let somebody.
We control the show.
Put somebody on who backs me, asshole. You dopey.
We had a guy
dopey
Opie and
pervy pal. Let a motherfucker who believes me answer.
Listen, this is what's going to happen, though, seriously. In about 2 weeks, 2 weeks, we're going to do a 9/11 show because this is getting old. We got to settle it once and for all.
Yes.
It's Anthony versus Patrice. Anthony gets 1 or 2 guys, you get 1 or 2 guys, and then we'll have at it for 2 hours straight on this fine channel.
At it, presenting facts, maybe
people
in a
are already
debate,
betting.
And it'll never get old, by the way. We're still talking about fucking JFK.
Oh, I know.
I know what you mean, though.
But people are betting already, and the early bets are in
on
for
Anthony.
Well,
fuck him. I'm gonna. You know what?
I've got nothing.
I've been leisurely into this, you son of a bitch, and I just
now
believe in
you're
leisure.
gonna delve.
Now I'm gonna get blueprints.
Good. You know, there's nothing wrong with everyone being educated.
And we want you to wear a suit that day.
That's right.
And we want you to come in with a briefcase,
a sharkskin suit.
I know,
sky blue.
I'm gonna have
as long as that motherfucker has the Phillies on the front.
I'm gonna have a PowerPoint presentation,
and you better have some charts.
Charts and graphs.
We want graphs and charts. We're
and
gonna have this on
believe it
Pal
too.
Talk.
That's the sad thing. Opie.
What?
You believe in the 9/11 conspiracy shit?
No, I'm not sure what the government knew.
You're not completely.
But as far as the event that happened on 9/11, it happened exactly how I saw it on TV.
It's pretty clean cut.
What they knew.
I don't know why you're not letting the physicists call into
what Bush knew and all that. I question a lot of that stuff. Absolutely, but that's
manipulation.
But that's different than saying the event didn't happen how we saw it.
I didn't say the event didn't happen. Oh, I wonder how you saw it. I just think
I do wonder if we could have prevented it. I wonder if we could have. I don't know.
Those questions, man. The questions that were raised and the fact that there's a couple of kooks that are fucking saying, look, there's some credible guys making lectures that fucking work at institutions of higher knowledge that are saying this shit.
I've seen them, and I've seen the same type of people, very intelligent engineers, talk about how we never landed on the moon either.
Can I ask?
And they're intelligent people. Some of them, like I said, engineers.
The architect of the building said it couldn't fall like that.
But here's the other thing.
Piece of shit.
Here's the other thing. Did the buildings need to fall for them to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish?
Well, everything.
I think when 2 planes hit the Twin Towers, job done.
Well, they're saying that
they got done exactly, but they got done exactly what they wanted.
Patrice, they would have had to demolish them. Why wouldn't they just do this? Let the planes hit and then demolish them. You'd have to demolish them anyway.
Right? No, wouldn't. You could start building up from where.
You're insane.
How would you get? No way.
How they get that high anyway?
Now, you understand
what I'm saying? They could build. Okay, ready? Are there any construction workers who could have, if the buildings didn't fall, could you have at a construction company? Could you rebuild where the plane fucking hit?
They absolutely would have demolished them. They would have demolished them. They would have. If those buildings had from the 76th floor up, gone.
Why go through?
This is a guesstimation.
No, it's not, because they would have been worried about the problem of the building.
Why go? How do you know?
Oh man.
Yeah, they are smart people who are doing lectures on the lecture circuit.
As soon as the planes,
they work at institutes of higher learning.
As soon as the planes hit, they did what they had to. They did what they wanted to do. I mean, to actually make sure the buildings came down. What does that do at that point?
Hey, Patrice, are you willing to believe that it was regardless of who did what and stuff, that it was Mohammed Atta and terrorists that flew into that plane?
Yes, but here's why I'm saying yes. Okay. I believe it to be so, but there are fucking
I just want because I had a follow up on that.
In terms of my own investigation.
Yeah.
When a motherfucker just raises a question, right? We were all the day after it happened was destroy whoever you have to destroy. We just were emotional just to watch that happen. But I'm saying now it's 5 years later, questions are being raised, and the fact that somebody would go, okay, some of these guys might still be alive. Okay, some of them might still be alive. It's just a question that goes in your head. There's no point for me to. First of all, there's really no point to be against Bush at this point. He's gone in 2 fucking years.
Yeah, I know.
He's done. So there's really no point to ever fucking really be on him this hard. But I'm saying when somebody says that, I didn't do my own investigating. Damn, I thought I saw a motherfucker driving a cab that looked just like the 18th nigga. I'm saying that. You raise that question, you just go, could that shit be true?
That was why I asked on the air. That was why I asked on the air. That's why I asked on the air.
What if the plane didn't make it? What if he got lost, got shot down? Then you have, and one of the buildings gets hit, let's say. One of the World Trade Center buildings gets hit, falls down. Now you got the other one standing there. The plane didn't fucking make it. The guy got caught at the airport. It was shot down by the fucking military. Whatever. Ran out of fucking gas. I don't know. What would they then do with a World Trade Center loaded with fucking explosives now? What do they do?
Good question.
Because you do know
what the fuck do they do? Because you do know that one was supposed to hit either the Capitol or the White House. Where are the explosives that were in there?
Okay,
one of the planes almost had a midair collision, too. When they were turning around from Boston, it was within a couple thousand feet or 200 feet of hitting another plane in flight.
Yeah.
So that one wouldn't have been the World Trade Center.
That's right.
What happened?
Patrice is raising his hand.
Where's the explosives?
Here's a possibility. Just to say, open your mind up. Could be completely ridiculous.
My mind is like a cougar snatch.
The fact that they're blaming this Jew, the owner, whatever Steen or
Silverstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say, as an insurance thing.
I think it's a disgrace, first of all, that Arabs do something and a Jew is taking the blame for it. It's a goddamn disgrace. I don't know how they spun that.
Fucking. I'm just saying, possibly. Possibly.
All right.
That in case of this type of disaster and you needed to bring these buildings down quickly, they built the buildings with demolition equipment, just in case, insurance-wise, you had to go, okay, we got to bring them down right now.
Wow.
Get a 5XL straight jacket.
Wow.
Get a 5XL straight jacket.
Something out there.
My man Patrice.
I'm just throwing something out there that they could
Two words. Occam's razor.
What?
2 words for you, Patrice.
A 5XL.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor. What the fuck is that?
Oh my God.
That's what I do now.
Patrice raises a good point, though.
I call Occam's razor.
What is that?
Into question.
What is that?
OCCAMS razor.
Oh, shit. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, tell Patrice this. 2 words, Occam's razor. I know Professor Anthony knows this term, but here you go anyways. The simplest answer is usually the truth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I've heard that, but not put in those terms. All right, well, we'll have a show. What is it, 2-hour show? You thinking?
I'm thinking 10 minutes.
I know. I was just thinking, what are we going to do with the other hour and 55 minutes?
It's going to be like Little League. Anthony's going to be ahead by 20 runs. We're going to have to call the game.
I'm just saying that you gotta.
You're in deep trouble. Who are you bringing to the table with you, Patrice?
Who the fuck knows? I never got into any of these fucking.
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
I do.
I'm not going to be on your team.
I'm not afraid of this motherfucking perv.
He knows me every day. He knows me more and more.
He read the report.
I'm not scared of this perv.
How many pages in the report, Anthony?
Oh my God, hundreds. There was
hundreds.
How
many pages did you read in the report?
I read what somebody else read and repeated.
Copy and paste. Patrice, copy and paste. O'Neill.
Wait a minute. You fucking read.
The 9/11 report.
Understand
the entire report.
Understand my context here.
You went to a barbershop and got some facts together.
You're only repeating what you're told. Yeah. But you're only repeating certain information that you were told.
I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Not only does my pal Anthony read the report, then he studies up on it and starts pulling out blueprints and stuff.
See, now you gotta go read the report, and now you gotta back it up with other sources.
Because my pal Anthony goes, this looks interesting, but you know what? I want to find out for myself, so I'm going to find a blueprint of a 757.
I'm going to the Boeing
57
and I'm going to see what this piece is and look for the engine, and it matched.
What did you hear? Okay.
What you do?
Did you hear about the fact that they found the guy's fucking passport?
Right, yes.
Okay, I'm just asking. All right. Who's the fact that they would say that, right?
Yeah.
You do 2 things. You either believe it or you don't believe it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. These questions are like up for debate. Now, only thing I'm saying is that some of these scientists are saying that scientifically some of this shit is not credible. What that report you read is not credible from scientific basis.
You
so
don't
I'm just
think
saying
it's
I could
feasible. You don't think it's possible that a guy that is most definitely in the front of the fucking plane, and all the passengers were told to get to the fucking back of the plane, behind the fuel, and the guy is in the cockpit, in the front of the plane as it smashes into the building, and he is torn to shreds. You don't think his passport
came out
can
of
go
his front
flying
shirt pocket
somewhere and end up on a street somewhere? Are the odds that it's going to get...
Is it probable? Is it probable? No.
It's so unlikely that they wouldn't have made it up. It's so unlikely that you wouldn't make it up. You wouldn't in an explosion, you wouldn't leave a passport in the street.
It's improbable.
And the whole conspiracy you're spouting is improbable. Is it impossible?
It could be improbable.
No. You know something?
Be improbable.
They could have put the It's so improbable that you would take the less improbable thing and say this is more probable.
Hey, Tony could help out Patrice. Tony in St. Louis, go ahead.
Yeah, what about that $20 bill that you folded up and one side was the Pentagon and the other side was the towers? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, when you folded 20.
I knew you was going to let that type of person. There's probably...
Who actually did that trick?
Stephen Hawkins is probably on the line right now.
You told me to help you out. I helped you out.
The guy, you fold up the 20 and it looks like a fire, like the bushes.
Yeah,
and you put it together, look like the World Trade Center on fire. That's who he let through. He's not letting credible fucking people on the line.
I certainly did. That's
why this guy laughed at himself.
Do you know if you also fold it a certain way, you can make it a bow tie, and then you can blame the Nation of Islam for doing it.
I certainly did. The next caller is going to tell Patrice that 9 + 3 = 12.
No. Anyway, here's a good question that we had. But this is why my mind just works. Crazy.
It doesn't.
You're gullible.
How would you? You're gullible too. You fucking piece of shit.
But at least you admit you are.
How would you, if you could go back in time?
Yeah.
Now we need time machines.
You not I'm just saying. You think time machines possibly could?
We got a cabinet. We can turn that into a time machine.
I don't think time travel ever.
By the way, you're wrong. It will be, and Dr. Kaku will explain that. It's about if you travel fast enough. Yes, it is.
And you can go further in time.
You can see into the past.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you're looking at the light from a star,
but you're
seeing a million years in the past.
Yeah, but you're not seeing an actual. Some substance you can touch anymore. You're seeing an image.
We're not we can't see that yet. We can't do that yet. But eventually they do think it's possible. And this is theoretical physics. Does think that's possible. It has something to do with mirrors.
And you're laughing at me.
And in a certain way...
I thought you was being funny.
I'm not stupid all the time.
I thought you was being an ass.
The mirrors,
How? No.
I can't believe that he actually just bought... I'm a good actor. I made that up completely.
If you traveled away from Earth faster than the speed of light, as you look back on Earth, you would see time going backwards.
And you age differently when you travel the speed of light.
But you would see it. It's not actually happening.
Yeah, we learned that in the Planet of the Apes.
It's what you see.
Now let me ask you: if you could go back.
No, we did because
we learned that in Planet of the Apes.
No, remember,
that's great. Let me put that in my footnotes. Source: Planet of the Apes.
Ah, remember the scene where it wasn't Charlton Heston, right?
Damn.
They used the other guy, and he was okay, and then he checked on his fellow astronauts, and there was a crack in their thing.
A leak in her. She was supposed to be our Eve. Damn you! You cut out his brain, you bloody baboon.
So they ended up aging. Remember?
Right, yeah, the one person, the one chick.
One person,
she was supposed to be the chick that was going to bang the three guys and make a new civilization.
There you go, see?
Taylor.
So that proves it.
That proves everything.
You're a hypothetical thinker, right? You're a hypothetical.
Why only one chick would they send, though? What if she had bad genes and the kid came out with Down syndrome? They're like,
now they're stuck on a planet of
whole planet full of these things.
No, back then they used to just send Raquel Welch. Ain't nothing wrong with that bitch.
Just something hot.
Sophia Loren or Raquel Welch.
First thing you do is open a big hat factory.
They just threw him on a spaceship with all that wasted headroom.
Or actually use the hats that the apes were wearing.
You big head.
Wait, here's a quick question. How would you have stopped it? If you can go back in time, hypothetically, if you go send you back in time to 9, 10.
Oh, wow, that's cutting it close. But
how could you, what would you have done to try to stop it? If you had the knowledge of what would happen?
To stop it?
To try to stop it.
Okay, I would have called, first of all, I would have called in bomb threats on all the planes. That's the first thing you do. Say there's going to be a bomb on each of those planes. Automatically, plane grounded. I'd give the names of who's going to do it.
Now, would that have been automatically grounded then?
Yes.
Automatically?
Yeah, bomb threat.
You call it bomb threat, they take very seriously. I'd have done that, give out the names of the terrorists, and say that these people, are planning to blow that. And it would mess up their whole scheme. They'd search them more. They'd look into their background a little more. even based on like nothing, just a stupid.
And go to the Statue of Liberty and scratch that nonsense off, and it would just say, "Give us your white people."
But we're already there, though, right?
I like Jimmy's idea.
Well, no, it's not about black people.
It's more about them.
Yeah, let's just
black people have been upgraded to past them.
Yeah, you guys.
We're not them anymore.
Yeah, you
really got to go back to the white.
But you fucked up yourself. You fuck asshole bastion the white people. So many people will listen.
Last bastion.
The last bastion.
It's over after us?
After you is over.
Dave in Jersey. Dave.
I'm hearing.
Dave.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Dave.
I think that these conspiracy theories are impossible. I mean, all these firemen are sitting there sifting through the rubble. They don't find any remains of any sort of explosive devices in the rubble, but they'll find body parts, they'll find computers, phones, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's impossible to have that many people involved in these theories and not have one person
find something.
Did you see the clip of the firemen talking? And the one dude was like, dude, it was a bunch of explosions, and that motherfucker came down like a professional demolition. A fireman said that.
What does the fireman know about?
What the fuck? They know about all type of shit like that.
No one knows about the World Trade Center falling before it fell. No one knew about it. No one knew what it sounded like. People heard roars. They heard friggin' freight trains.
But
they heard explosions.
You just discredit that statement as whatever.
He probably did hear explosives.
And he said the way it came down was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, that shit was not falling.
Anything is going to take the path of least resistance, which is straight down on a 90-degree angle to gravity.
When can we take
That's the path.
When can we take the path to a commercial break?
We could do that.
Good segue, good segue. Because I got to take a path right to the urinal. Come on, guys, let's lighten it up.
Listen, fellas,
I just
was excited about all the new emails I got from my secret friends who won't call in. They're using their goddamn Negro guinea pig to spew out the nonsense. White people really do know how to use black people for their own goddamn ill-gotten gains. You bastards, where are you?
Did you see a picture of the guy who's like the head of this thing, this ass? He wears a shirt that says 9/11 conspiracy. He's a 22-year-old boob.
Yeah, but I'm not with.
No, but I mean that's the mentality you're dealing with.
Boy, I've left loose.
Patrice, this guy Jerome wants to help you out. Jerome,
here we go.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Jerome.
All right, I'm not going to say anything new. I mean, I know just as much as all you guys.
Then why are you calling?
Sure. I'm a physicist. I want to try to help out Patrice.
A physicist. Then where do you physicist?
It sounds like we're physicists from Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah.
Hey there, you fucking E equals MC fucking square, nigga.
I made a mistake. I'm a pharmacist. Fuck it. I'm out.
I teach physicist ed at the high school.
All right, physicist. Where did you go to your physicist school?
Well, now it's probably going to get worse. More jokes. Small school out of Boston. It's called Curry College.
Call what?
I know Curry. It's in Milton.
MIT a little too expensive, or the grades weren't that good?
Curry College is the Division 12 of physicism.
They actually spell physics with an F.
If they play Duke in the National Physicists, they would lose.
They didn't have any scouts in there.
No, there's no scouts.
There weren't any scouts checking him out in high school.
The head coach is also the motherfucker that cooks. He's the cook and the head coach of it.
Over the front door it says, if man were meant to fly, he'd have wings.
Oops. Curry College. They're professional. They're in curry. They cook chicken, goat. You go there to eat.
The physics of Indian cooking.
This nigga from Curry College called me to back me up. Yeah, I went to Curry fucking College.
Sir, what did you learn there that will help out this conversation? And Patrice.
That's tough. I mean, Anthony, I gotta leave it all up to you though. With all your arguments, I mean, that's all that we studied. You know how things move in space, and exactly the points that are made with the commission reports.
You're the dumbest physicist I've ever heard in my life.
Wait a minute. Give him a break too. Your boy is socially inept too. People who are really smart are not good socially. Give him a chance. First of all, he's on the fucking radio. First time in his life. Let him get it out.
Sir, explain inertia.
Get right to the point.
Let's see if he's a physicist. Explain inertia.
Oh, that's good. you have a body, an object that's moving. There could be something inside of it, and if it turns left, that thing can turn left too.
Now, somebody call. Is that correct? I don't know what it means.
He don't even know. I know he wouldn't even know.
The law of inertia is easy. An object at rest will remain at rest unless it is influenced by an outside source, and an object in motion will remain in motion unless influenced.
I don't know who to believe. Curry College.
Here's what it is.
Or
it's
Professor Anthony.
Or new professor, ex air conditioning man, new professor. Now fuck both of y'all. I don't believe in either one.
Inertia is
Inertia is the name of my daughter.
No, inertia. It's where your dick is when you fuck Ursha.
All right, Karnak, good one. Inertia. Jimmy held a little envelope up to his turban. Inertia. Let me close the envelope open.
There's dew on your dippity.
2 words.
May inertia rob your house tonight. Inertia.
2 words.
Yes.
Schrodinger's cat. End of discussion.
Is that someone else fucking with you?
I don't know.
Schrodinger's cat is of course, the law of physics that says.
Right. All right, Jerome, anything else?
Well, I want to try to help out Patrice. I want him to say what's something an argument. What's an argument that he can't explain himself?
It's the scientific fact of how the buildings fell, how fast they fell. The thing I was watching, the guy said if you drop an egg from the top of the building, it would take 8 seconds to fall, but that's with no resistance. And the buildings fell in 8 seconds, 9 seconds with resistance.
Who was timing the buildings falling?
It's probably fucking on film. You can watch it.
Just
watch it. They just time it. Is he trying to help me or what the fuck?
But still, like, that's something that's not possible either.
Can we at least get a guy from Paprika College?
Paprika College.
I know they're a step up. Hey, I need some allspice college graduates.
So, how about Mrs. Dash University, motherfucker? This nigga called from. I'm telling you, Curry College is a college that's on the way to another college. When you're driving, you go, that's Curry College. I'm on the way to another one. It's the dumbest college ever. It's
you went
one building.
It's Physics Community College.
God damn it.
Physics Community College.
Oh, God, this motherfucker with
that dummy. I would rather hear Big A read out of a physics book.
Of course. Let's go to Dave in North Carolina. Dave's going to back up Patrice.
Hey. I've been in countries where they do rig buildings and bridges with bombs. And also, I want to ask you, have you ever seen a fire burn downwards?
A fire burn downwards? Yes.
Yeah, instead of up?
Yes.
And it wouldn't make so much sense to drop a building that's a lost cause anyways.
A what?
It would make so much sense to drop a building that's a lost cause anyways. They can't put the fire out. They can't pull the plane out. You know? It would make more sense to drop the building.
Yeah, so they had it rigged just in case. I got you. Just in case planes hit.
I'm not sure they had it rigged, but I mean, I've been places where they do rig things like that, and I mean, it's easy to say they can go in there and put some C4 and drop it.
Thank you very much. That's Patrice's constituency.
All right.
There he is.
There you go.
That's my esteemed colleague.
You might be right. If you rig a building,
you ever seen a fire burn down? Yes, I have.
You might be.
Whenever someone starts with, I've been in countries.
You haven't seen a fire burn down.
Burn down, you might be redneck.
This is awful. I'm just going to start to say,
if you ever studied physics at Curry College, you might be an idiot.
See the chemistry between us? We finish each other's sentences sometimes.
Believe me, another minute and that guy would have said, did you notice there were no yarmulkes burned?
That's another thing. Some of the shit, it's like what you decide that you're going to... It's like, when people go, there was no Jews in the...
They were told the day before to take the day off.
All right.
Patrice, we got other things to do on the show today. So here's the deal. This is what I say to you. Well, first of all, you're going to be on the radio Saturday night doing your relationship show.
Yep.
Which is unbelievable. If you haven't heard Patrice doing his relationship show.
Which, by the way, I
great.
Just wouldn't even try to challenge you in that whole fucking realm.
That's where you're an expert, my friend.
I've seen guys rattle off questions to Patrice off the top of their head, some obscure relationship question, and without blinking an eye or taking a second to think about it, his computer-like relationship head spits an answer out. You, like, in a second. It's like, what are you talking about? You do blah, 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 this, that. And the guy's like fascinated. Like he just climbed the mountain and Buddha was sitting up there and he got an answer from him.
He's heading toward a weekly show with that because it's that strong. So it's going to be on Saturday night, 8 o'clock we decide?
Yeah.
8 to 10. And this is what I say to you, Patrice. If you get a team behind you, we'll do a 9/11 show.
We'll do a 9/11 show.
I'm on it right now.
Couple of weeks, we'll get on the air and do it with some proof and
we'll
all of our little shit.
And we'll encourage everybody to call. People that agree with you and people that agree with Anthony.
All right.
And we'll do it the right way once and for all. Okay?
Fair enough.
All right, we're going to go to break with the Patrice.